is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus good? Well, I just got done playing it for quite a bit. I would say in total, let's see, last night and then today combined, about close to like 8 hours, like 5 to 8 hours worth. The first few hours, you know, trying it out, I was playing Lancelot, and it was a little rough trying to get used to it. Even though this game is similar to other Arc System games, like in some ways, like Dragon Ball FighterZ and you know, Guilty Gear and stuff like that. It's really simplified in terms of the combos and stuff like that, and the fun at its base and its fundamentals and everything like that, and how it works. Yeah, it's a lot of fun once figured out. Lancelot, like I said, I was playing a lot. It was a little tough time figuring him out, but once I did, and really enjoyed him as being like a rushdown character, because that's more my style, is just basically just utilizing combos as much as possible and just kind of just putting that pressure on my opponent as much as possible so they can't really react too much to what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll say it's solid good game overall. And the other reasons why, you know, is they do a lot of good stuff right. Visually, obviously, it looks great. You know, it's what we expect from Arc System Works in terms of visuals and graphics. You know, it's an anime fighting game. Like, they're not going to mess that up visual. So, it's more about the gameplay mechanics like that. So, as I said, yeah, it's very simple. You know, the combos and variety of combos is just limited on every character. There's not too much you can do with that. But there are some fun tools you can use in here. And once you learn how to use them effectively, along with your, you know, your supers, instead of using like the R1 button for them, you can, once you learn how to EX your supers, that ends up being a little bit better to do, just because the recovery time is faster. So, and I had a lot of fun overall. At first, I wasn't having fun because I was like, oh my god, this doesn't seem like it plays too much like Dragon Ball FighterZ or Guilty Gear, like where I was used to those Arc System games and how they work and whatnot. I just feel like it does have some similarities to like Street Fighter V and MK11, where it's definitely a slower paced fighting game too. I don't know why we're in the era apparently of like just these slow, really grounded footsie type fighting games now. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, as long as I can still have fun with it, enjoy it, I'm down. Now this was a beta, so there wasn't too many characters either. There's only like 5 characters you can try as. I played Lancelot and Gran, which I'll talk about Gran later on. But yeah, so hopefully they add more characters. I know this is probably just made for now, like just kind of a bare bones thing looking at it, but that's what probably would need to keep the interest going for, I feel like, a lot of fans, is add some really cool characters and maybe start off with like a 16 to 20 character roster and then go from there. You know, I think that'd be good. Some stuff they need to probably fix fundamentally about with the game mechanics, I feel like, is just, you know, balance out the characters more in terms of what they can do, for sure. Even though they mostly feel good, they definitely need some tweaking though a bit, and to make it feel a bit more balanced out overall when you're going against, you know, any character in the game. I mean, some characters are going to be better than others still, you know, certain things, which is going to be a given. That's any fighting game. But, and what I mean by balancing them out is like, I guess when it comes to the core game mechanics, like make it where you're able to better, you know, counter your opponent. You know, there's certain situations where I was stuck in, and I even got my opponent stuck in, where I was literally just comboing them practically nonstop, like almost all day, or they were just comboing me almost all day, and I wasn't really able to counter them. And whereas compared to like Street Fighter 5 or like even more recently MK11, they've got, you know, some mechanics in there where you don't get punished in the corner all day or just not comboed all day. You can actually get out of that. MK11, you can do like a rollout basically and get out the corner, or get out from a, you know, being comboed heavily, and then you can counter. So I feel like they need to add something in there to kind of make it better or a little bit easier to counter. One good thing they do too that I noticed is the grabs are hard to do, and the reason why I say that's good is because they do damage. They do a good chunk of damage, more so probably than other fighting games, because they're hard to pull off. So it's like a high risk, high reward type thing, which is good, because if you are able to pull off a grab, you're going to do a good chunk of damage. When it comes to the supers feel really good. They're similar to MK11 supers in terms of damage. They do about good 30 to 35% damage, which is actually what they should do. I feel like so it's just weird though, because you don't get access to your super or like your super skybound art, which is like sort of like an ultra super in a way, um, until you get this bar to like 100%. And initially, like until you're like, if your life is above 30% health, you only have access to like your, I guess, regular super basically. Um, and once you get 30% or below, your health will turn blue, and that's when you get access to your like ultra super basically, I guess you want to call it, or super skybound art. And that's pretty much almost a guaranteed finish move, depending on where your opponent's health is at. But and it's good, like they got them set up differently in terms of how you use them and like with the inputs, which is fine. But yeah, this game just, I don't know, just needs some, not even too much major tweaks to it, but definitely add some more characters, fix some of the fundamental core gameplay for each character as far as mechanics go, make it maybe a little bit faster. Like I said, it feels slow. I don't mind it being a footsie game similar to Street Fighter V and MK11, well, not as long as it's, improved upon in some ways to make it more enjoyable and fun for everybody. Sadly though, Arc System still has their same freaking bad netcode, because if you don't think they have bad netcode, like they try to mask that shit because they keep it region based, and it's that fools some people thinking, okay, this got good netcode. Well, no. Says if you notice for the lobbies you choose, it's region based, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, somewhere in Europe or something like that, or even Japan, or even further down south like in Mexico or South America. Yeah, if you're gonna choose a region that you're closest to or in, yeah, it's gonna be good. But if you try, like, say, for example, I'm on the East Coast side, so I chose like the New York East Coast server. But if I tried to go into like, say, the West Coast, like Los Angeles server, whatnot, I'm probably gonna experience some lag. Despite how good my internet connection is, and maybe the other person's, we're gonna probably experience some type of delay that's not all that good. And I don't know why Arc System has not fixed this over the past decade. I guess because when it comes to their country in Japan, the netcode's freaking fantastic, and they feel like, oh well, since it's fantastic here, it's gonna be fantastic everywhere. It's like, I guess they feel like, don't complain about it. I don't know. I don't know. Compared to other fighting games, like MK11's netcode is just sublime. Freaking awesome compared to this. So, but overall, it's a solid fighting game. Good aiming fighter. There's also a action RPG game in the works as well called Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I'm actually interested in that. Check out some gameplay of that too. And this is going to be the fighting game version of that game, with basically those being in the same universe, which is very interesting and very cool. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this. I'm still not super hyped about it like I was with Dragon Ball FighterZ when that came out, or even the Guilty Gear games. Like, I really enjoy the Guilty Gear games and the BlazBlue games. Like, I'm more hyped about those games. This one, I don't know. I'm still kind of like 50-50 a little bit with it. I still want to give it a shot though when it finally comes out. See how it goes and see how they update it and, improve upon it. And maybe they can create like a competitive scene for it so it really gets big. Because like, the Arc System games, despite, the negatives and flaws about them, they are really still, at the end of the day, very solid, fundamental fighting games. Like, they're fun. And I wish they would get, more bigger into that mainstream than being like these kind of low-key or mid-tier fighting games that they are, or seems that they've come to be. Whereas, like, they're not necessarily on the same level as like a Mortal Kombat, a Tekken series, or even a Street Fighter. Like, those are more mainstream. Whereas Arc System fighting games are not. And they're very niche type anime fighting games, which is sad. I wish they would break out to be bigger, because they are a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. And easy to learn for the most part. Like, easy to pick up most of the time, because the combos, like I said, it's not too hard. They're like simple, like, you got your light, medium, heavy, and then your special or unique attack. So it's like you can do the sort of auto combos with it, with, the square, or triangle, stuff like that. But what I notice bit offense more is when you do them manually. Like, the auto combos do less damage, which they should. If you do manual combos, you should get rewarded for doing manual combos. It seems like you do more damage and maybe have a little bit more recovery on the manual combos than you do the auto, that's how it should be, I feel like. So, it's a lot of fun though. Characters was a little bit rough at first learning. Gran, as I mentioned before, he's kind of the Ryu of the game, essentially. He's just probably the most balanced out character in the beta, I feel like, in terms of what he can do, his movement and his damage and just his move set. You know, it just felt very Ryu-ish, which is good, not a bad thing. Just feel like they just need to probably up the speed a little bit for every character, you know, increase dash speeds a little bit. There's no air dash speeds though, unlike Guilty Gear for some reason, which is kind of odd. And even Dragon Ball FighterZ has dash speeds, and they don't have it in here, so it's kind of weird they don't have that in here. But it is what it is. It's still fun. Like I said, I'm probably gonna still give it a shot when it finally comes out. You know, pick it up, and hopefully the final version, or at least when the vanilla version of it comes out, it's a little bit better than the beta, at least. And then they just keep improving upon it, and you know, get people more interested in it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. If you've played it, let me know your thoughts or what you think of this, and if you think this is gonna be something you want to check out, play it too. All right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it still, and just hope it just gets better and better. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Mike. I'll see you next time.